Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach. How you going, guys? Going to take a look at the teams today. Just finished work about half an hour ago. Not too bad on the teams front. A little bit of carnage, some potential major carnage if things don't quite go our way. Some surprises. Bailey Smith is out. He's sick, so that's not ideal. Had a few people asking in the live session whether they should trade him in. So we'll touch on a few of those points, and I've got a bit of a decision on my hands in terms of trades. I wish I still had a trade boost. I knew this would happen. They were always good fun and worthwhile when I used the trade boost in the first 10 or so rounds, but there was always going to be the time where I wish I had an extra one, but I do not. But that's okay. I don't know. I'm not feeling great about my side at the moment, I must admit. Taranto is still out. I'm absolutely spewing about that. It's been one of the worst trades I've ever done at this stage. To get rid of Brody, I think it was, or Cornelio, I can't remember. But either way, though, I mean, I've had on a few occasions trading those guys out. I mean, who could have seen Cornelio coming? I mean, the change in coach, I guess so. But there were also some absences in the team with Ash and Taranto. So hard to predict. And I genuinely didn't think... I knew Brody would still score well. I didn't think he had 140s in him. But he's really stuck it up me. And then Taranto comes in, scores about 70, then he's out. And he's got the bye next week. So it's a disaster, that trade. So I don't know. I'm a bit disenchanted with the old side. I really feel like I need to land a big captain this week. I just feel like, I just get a feeling I'm just a bit off some of the real top sides. Dropped about 3,000 ranks last week. So I'm really hoping to just plateau, maybe go up in rank ever so slightly, and then try and make some good moves through the buys. But anyway, let's get stuck into these teams. Nothing too hectic on your Friday night. Matty Roberts makes his debut. Should be a pretty handy game, that one as well. McCluggage is out. Not that too many have him, but Ash comes back in the side. No Whitfield, no Taranto, and no Preuss. And old mate Preuss is on the emergency list. So maybe that's an insight to what Mark McVeigh thinks of him. Obviously, Leon Cameron was really rating what Preuss did, but he gets a laid out last week. Flynn does a good job, and Preuss is just, running the drinks kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't really know how to read that. I'm not sure how you're going from being in the side playing great footy. You miss because you're sick, and then you're named as an emergency. So very confusing. I'll talk about my trades later and what I'm thinking of doing. Rochelle's managed. Matt Crouch comes back into the side. Maybe just check your draft teams for that one. Potential free agent there. Now, Lynch is out. Not massive for him exactly, but I'll tell you what, Jared Witts could be a sneaky little captaincy option. I never thought I would have said that Jared Witts would be potentially my outright captain for SuperCoach, but he's been on fire. The D's and the Dockers, Gawn and Darcy will go up against each other. It's a bloody good matchup there. Now we see Nash dropped, Dixon dropped, Bailey Smith is out with illness, Cleary is dropped. Great work from a few guys on the live session as well. That's why I like doing those, because they sort of said, I was saying, yeah, get Cleary in, great cash cow. And then a few people were like, hold your horses, Shorty. We got Jure, and Crozier, I think, is also hanging around. He will come back, and he could have some iffy job security. And that proved exactly right. So well played to those guys who let me know that. Old mate Paddy Dow's into the team. And then, even looking at this, Sammy Hayes on the extended bench. But he's got to play. He has to play. I mean, they've named Jeremy Finlayson as their number one ruck. That's not going to happen. I know Charlie Dixon's back in the side, but they're not going to throw him into the ruck. So rest easy. Sam Hayes will play. If he doesn't, well, I've lost all credibility. Jordan Ridley comes back. I obviously knew Taranto was out during the week, and I just wanted Ridley back in the side because that just helps me a massive amount. And I don't think there was too much relevant here. So I'm going to dive in. I'll talk about a couple of guys you mentioned in the live session. One of those was Bailey Smith. Bontempelli and Bailey Smith looking very likely to get some forward eligibility. And I was fully recommending bringing them in ahead of time. But look, Smith was probably the one to get because of his break even. And then slightly cheaper as well. and all of a sudden he's missing this week. So that's really disappointing. But this is the week, if you haven't already, it's the week to just get the pen and paper out, map out your trades for the next 2-3 weeks, and just work out which buys are going to hurt you the most, because that can probably make you decide a bit easier in terms of some of those trades you might make. Bring in this premium, hang on a sec, I might go this guy. It's sort of a 50-50 split, but I'm going to go this guy because of his buy, and it will really help me in terms of missing a zero sort of thing. If people are new to the game or haven't done too much SuperCoach before, your first 18 scorers in the buys will count. So it is beneficial to have 20, because if you get a guy who gets injured first quarter, scores 19 and a 42, they'll get cancelled out. Obviously, sometimes it's just a blessing to get 18 scores, but it is very advantageous to get more than 18 scorers. And we get 3 trades each week as well, so that will come in handy. In terms of captaincy options, I think Lachie Neale's definitely a guy to take a look at for sure. I think he'll be really keen to bounce back. He's always a great option anyway, but the Lions will be seething after last week, and Neale probably was shut out of the game slightly after starting pretty well. I think Shields might have gone to him, so he'll be looking to bounce back pretty heavy. The Friday night's iffy. I think a lot of people will be looking. I know me, the only one I can actually do, I think, is Friday night. So Jaden Short, Callum Mills comes to mind. Could Parker. When Parker goes big, he can go big, and Heaney's probably the other. But look, Neale for me, Mills. And honestly, I think I'm going to go Jared Witts. Who is going to ruck for them? Who's been named? You got Kaczynski. Who else could possibly? Could you throw Frost in there with his athleticism? I mean, there's every chance that Connor Nash just competes in the ruck around the ground. I think he's done that before. So it is hard to see Witts not going amazing. He's been dominating as is, and all of a sudden he comes up against nobody. So at this point in time, just with the way my zeros work out, I think the only zero I've got is Taranto, because Hoff was... What's Hoff's go? So he's on the interchange bench after a beautiful 3 points from him last week. So yeah, Taranto's the only one. Giants play pretty early in the week. So all it gives me is the look at the Friday night. And I might throw it on Luke Parker or Jaden Short. Heaney hasn't really gone big since the first couple of rounds. Short's only gone big that one time when he was ejected or launched into the midfield. So yeah, something to think about, but gee, I never thought I'd do this. Bang. Witts, captain. Oh, it makes me nervous. It really does. I had a dream the other day that I put Clayton Oliver captain, and he went off at quarter time, and he was on 11 or something, and he was my skipper. the shit I dream about, guys. So I hope it's not some weird omen that my captain's going to go down. And Witts is a bit injury prone, so I'm crossing the fingers. But at this stage, I think I'm going to go with that. A couple of guys that you were mentioning in the live session in terms to trade in was either going with Sam Walsh or Jack Sinclair. Now, really good point raised in the session as well, and that's why I love doing it, because I can't watch absolutely every game or be over absolutely everything. And it was a good point raised by someone in there that, I just thought Sinclair scored that massive score off the back of largely going back in the midfield without Jack Steele. But I don't think he attended one centre bounce. So that was a really good point. Shows that he does have some really nice upside off the half-back line. So who would I go? Oh, look, my initial thought says Sam Walsh. But then again, you're getting a guy in Sinclair that I think if we were ranking the midfielders, I think Sinclair would be higher ranked in the top 10 defenders than, say, Walsh would in the top 10 to 12 mids. So it's a really interesting one. I would just work it out on what suits your side best. I'd probably slightly lean towards Sinclair just because of that added value that he has being a defender. Dual position, you never know when that can come in handy too. And as good as Walsh is, I mean, he's averaging very similar to last year, even with a slightly different position. His last 2 weeks have been massive. I think he is an outstanding player, and I think if you go with either one of them, you're winning on both fronts. It's not like if you told me you went with Sinclair or Walsh, I'm not going to argue either way. but I think it might just depend where your weakest link is. You know, it might just come down to which rookie you want to have on field rather than who's better out of these two. But I do like the dual position element of Sinclair and the added bonus that, you know, he's probably, you know, he's really a high-ranking defender where there are so many guns up against Walsh. Now, I just wanted to sort of work through my thought process on the trades with you live as we go. I did a fair bit of thinking at work because that's what I do when I'm driving around. But I thought, gee, I really should map it out and think about it before I get the video going. But I thought I'll just do it as we go. So my initial thoughts are Nick Martin has to go. And that's probably something that you guys will be thinking as well. He's got a massive break even. He's been great. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate your work, but it's time to move on. Now, obviously, I can swing him mid or forward. Cleary going down is obviously a bit disappointing. Cooper Stevens is also a guy that, you know, is someone to think about, but it's got to be relatively short term for Cooper because Danger's out for a bit, but he's the sort of guy that's in and out of the Cats side when we are fully fit. And then someone like Jacob Ware only played the one game. Then I'm presuming he got named this week. I don't think I saw him as an out. No, so there he is off the interchange. No, where is the bastard? Oh, back pocket. Yeah, fair enough. See if there's anyone I've missed. Because Strendicko, I thought, you know, potentially could be a nice cash cow, but he's not even in the side. Jeffrey is another one to think about. 127k in the forward line. Really quiet first up at 95 last week. Riley West. That's interesting. Holy fuck, you scared the shit out of me. What are you doing? Get out of here, boy. Put some pants on, would you? Jesus Christ. Lockie Neal for VC, bro?
Lockie Neal for C.
I should have locked it. I should have locked the door.
Who's better at Last Parish, Lockie Neal?
Lockie Neal.
Thank you. With a friend about it.
Yeah, it's tough for me to say because I'm so close with Parrish, but
He hates you.
he does not hate me.
He does. He doesn't know you.
Did some bloke actually argue with you that Parrish was better than Neil?
Yeah.
Ah, hey Jonah.
Oh, he's naked.
Oh, don't come in here, man. Yeah. Oh,
Did she?
what? Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Might edit that out. Run. Where was I? Riley West has been just chilling there on the interchange bench. I should have mentioned too, Timmy English is back, so that's massive.
Boy.
That's massive. But Jordan Sweet is in the team as well.
What?
It's just something to think about.
How the fuck we had
Jordan Sweet is all he does is ruck, mate. I'm just concerned there's a bit of a sharing of the ruck going on as he returns.
John Ladd this week, Hickey's out too.
Is Hickey out? Shit. Yeah, so Riley West has gone bang bang with a 73 and a 79. That's interesting. So he might be someone to consider. He's a bit pricier than maybe I would like, but he is a forward. Don't know what his job security is like. I might have to have a little bit of sus, but I think my initial gut feel is probably it was probably going to be Cleary for Gibcus and then Martin for Petrarca. But now I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do that because what are you staring at, huh? Sorry about that. Kind of hard to concentrate when Watto's just staring you right in the face. But, huh? Fucking prick just keeps yelling shit out. So my initial thought was Gibcus down to Cleary, gives him some cash to go Martin to Petrarca. Now, then Preuss didn't come back in the team, so do I back Hayes in? You know, it might just be for 1 week. Can I do that? Do I feel comfortable with that? Probably not. But my only other options are, do I go... Because Martin has to go. So is he a downgrade? Is he an upgrade? I think Petrarca's really nicely priced. and I would like to get him. Because the way I look at it, I think he needs to be an upgrade, because if I move him into the midfield, he will be my M8, and then that can be, Petrarca, for example. Then De Koning will be nicely priced at some stage to be an upgrade as well, to fill out my final one on the forward line. If I downgrade Martin, then all of a sudden, is it McComb? Is it like he's moving up, but it's a long way for an upgrade. I guess I get more cash from Martin. It's a much of a muchness. I will also be able to get 2 bites of the cherry with Rioli on Friday night, and then potentially can just actually that is kind of bad. What would I? No, if that would actually leave me pretty open, wouldn't it? If I had Taranto here, Clark here. So if Rioli goes well, that's potentially an issue. Because I was initially thinking I would go, bro, let me finish my video. Just trying to finish my video, man. Because it's definitely not ideal to have, if I swing Martin in there, for example, if I upgrade him, it's not ideal to then have either Rioli and De Koning. That's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. I did not think of that. I just wonder. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I don't know. What have we got? Say, for example, if I was upgrading Martin in the forward line. Because I do want to go to English, but Jordan Sweet there just worries me, and he's missed so much footy. So I don't necessarily want to just go bang straight away. I wouldn't mind just seeing how he goes, and I think his break-even's about 97, so is there anyone else to sort of whet the appetite? Not really. I mean, Libba's there. Yeah, not really, is there? So the way I see it, the way I see my side unfolding is I'll be able to easily upgrade McCartan to maybe someone like Alex Witherden or James Sicily. Then this M8 position can easily be, let's just say Taranto's back. How good's that? Awesome, fantastic. Let's just say I was sort of thinking Martin's the upgrade in M8 to Petrarca, and then De Koning's an easy upgrade to English because he's going up nicely in price as well. So Taranto does leave me very much open. Let's just run the table through, just for example's sake, on my initial trade and how I was going to go about it. There's Cleary, he's out now. That hurts. Old mate Jacob Ware, for example's sake. Feel free to chuck through any ideas you got for old Shorty too, if you reckon there's something I should be doing that you reckon I haven't picked up on. So 593, what have we sort of got to work with? The tracks at 585, Bontempelli, do I just go him, sort of move him to the forward line? Not that you can yet, but in a couple of weeks. That would leave me with sort of 8k kind of deal. So that's a potential. That's a definite potential. And that would be leaving Hayes on the field, and it would definitely, for this week, that sort of a trade would leave me recklessly open with Taranto. It would basically give me a free crack at Rioli. If Rioli fails, I'd have to bring in Roses and De Koning. So it's really awkward because I would prefer, I might have to flick a few things around here. So, yeah. I'm going to have to ponder. So this last 5-10 minutes probably hasn't been the best viewing, but I just wanted to, this is what I do. I just throw ideas around, chop and change a few things. I am leaning towards doing that initial trade that I did, but I will try and throw a few things around because I don't mind doing that trade from an overall point of view, but I'm a little bit worried about how open it leaves me on the field at forward. So I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of thinking on that one. I'm going to have to get back to you. This video is getting a little bit late and a little bit long, so I'm going to wind it up, edit this bad boy up. But if you've got any questions, I'll look to get to them tomorrow. Been a little bit scratchy on getting back to your questions, but hopefully you're able to attend the live session, get involved in that. And if not, I'll be back soon. I'll have a video out tomorrow as well. SuperCoach break-evens and fallen premiums, which is always very relevant as we look to finalise our sides here. So no Tinder stories tonight. I do apologise, but they'll be back. They'll be back soon enough, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.